We be forgetting, you know. All right, so look, 1 2 1 2. Microphone is on. All right, we should be straight now. All right, so pardon me with the microphone work, y'all. So before I get ready to go to school and all that, because I'm back in school, first I want to say that, yeah, there we go. All right, first I want to say that the solar compatibility readings are still in effect. For you and your lover, your significant other. Remember, solar compatibility readings, solar, not natal chart readings, synastry readings. But yeah, they're still available for $15 each. You can email me or click the icons in the channel banner. For everyone who's watching this video as well, like if you want to know how to reach me, how to contact me, there's icons in the channel banner that'll bring you to my blogs. They'll bring you to my Instagram, and they'll also bring you to my website in case you're interested in the Secret Houses podcast. I don't use Vimeo. I don't use Patreon no longer. I don't use any of those platforms because I figured out how to do it on my own. You know what I'm saying? And I do the Secret Houses podcast from YouTube. I'm already a Google partner, so why not? Like to me, it just doesn't make sense to spread myself thin. You know how you be like, oh, available on all platforms. Why? Like, which one of them are cutting you a check? You understand what I'm saying? Here on there, that's a different video, right? I'm getting real sarcastic and shit, but we're about to do a Pisces video anyway, so sarcasm is very high on the list. Um, so I just wanted to make that announcement though. The readings are still available, $15 each. So just hit me up and let me know. Also, I got a request for Cancer men. I don't use. Of course, I do more Pisces videos than any videos. I don't really do Cancer videos like that. However, I will have a treat for you, for the person who requested that, and for the people who want to see more about Cancer men, because I have an upcoming podcast about cancers, fourth house is insidious. So with that being said, the research that I'm doing and the experiences that I'm having, experiences that I've had, I'm also a Cancer decadent. I'll be able to give you some valid information to do a Cancer man video. I got you. So what are we doing here today on the real? Like I'm just touching grounds. Like I'm just, going in a little bit. It's not an extreme focus, but Dave Israel, shout out to the West Coast. I believe Dave is out in Cali. Well, he said the West Coast. So I'm gonna keep it at the West Coast. Shout out to the West Coast, though, my people out on the West Coast. East to the West, you already know. Unified, you know what I'm saying? Wants to know, or basically wants to hear about, how people assume that Pisces is the weak fish, especially because of our icon. How it's drawn up, and people be like, oh, the little two fishes, like, they think something sweet, they think something soft, or whatever the case may be. Wants me to elaborate on that, you know what I mean? And I'm not even really making a joke out of this, but I do understand how people um either underestimate or joke, um take for granted the Pisces symbol, the Pisces people, just because of that symbol. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna elaborate on this a bit while I have this coffee. You know what I'm saying? And basically state like this. Where should I start? This is where I'm gonna start, right? This is gonna sound high and mighty. I gotta give it to you the way it is, though. And if it's not the way that I'll say it is, question it. Go do your own research. Get in the comment box. Say what you gotta say about it. You know what I'm saying? Um, so Pisces, right? First of all, we want to talk about fishes. You should first think about where fish come from. The fish come from the sea, from the deep blue sea, right? Now, there are telescopes, there are satellites, there are all types of machinery, all types of technology that can show you where the planets are, where the comets are flying. They got allegedly got rovers on Mars and stuff like that, right? They have not been to the bottom of the ocean. That's A, right? So you could question that first when it comes to Pisces and say, well, why are people out of space trying to obtain or contact alien life, yet they don't want to discover what's in their own backyard. They don't want to find out what's going on here. They don't want to go, well, it can't even go deep enough without the machinery decomposing to the bottom of the ocean. So what is it about that? How can you, like, to my understanding, you can't breathe out of space. So how you can't, come on, we're pretty intelligent. Like, come on, we can't get down there? Or is it that people just don't really, really want to go? So I would say to question that. Two, okay, so now let's look at the fish, right? Because to my understanding, also they put like 2 jellyfish on, not jellyfish, goldfish on as a symbol, as an icon for the zodiac wheel. And it's like this, right? It's like, yo, look at fish, right? Fish travel in what? Groups called schools. That's B. Groups called schools. So we know in human life or mammal life, we go to school to do what? Educate ourselves, educate each other, and advance based upon what it is that we know. So these are the type of groups that these even goldfish swim in. They're called schools, right? So even more, let's go back to evolution. Before there were mammals, before there were animals who walked on land, ran through land, climbed trees, even the birds who fly in the air, there were fish. Again, I don't have concrete evidence of this. I'm gonna just let you know that I researched this very briefly, very vaguely, and came up with this information. Like, it's been a while since I've done all of the old oceanography and all of that stuff, the work for it. But go research it if you think I'm bullshitting. Fish were first. Fish were first, man. Fish were first before the monkeys and everything else. Now, when I heard the whole evolution thing about, how we evolved from apes, I was like, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of hard for me to believe. I think that there's another element to it. So when I started hearing the stories about, or actually viewing the stories first, of how, the Egyptians and the Anunnaki, they were doing experiments on humans by using other DNA from different animals, that struck a chord with me. I said, you know what, that's more believable. I said, I believe that. I believe that happened. I think that really took place. So with me studying even more, I'm like, okay, so fish were first, blah, blah, blah. Now I do see some ape type qualities. I won't completely cancel that out. I just don't think that we started there, but okay. So what I'm basically here to make a claim is that we are all fish. So everyone and anyone who like teases Pisces or calls them weak, calls them, X, Y, and Z, negative, derogatory statements, you're really just playing yourself, because you are a fish too, buddy. You're a fish. We're all walking around here as fishes. We just evolved into something else. All right. We evolved with different components from different DNA, from different animals, different species. And now we are what we are right now. This sounds out there. So what? This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? Research it and question it all you want. Now, back to fish traveling in schools and stuff like that, right? The first fish was pretty much shaped. The first fishes were like shaped like snakes. All right. So even in the Bible, right, you hear biblical references about Satan and that creature of old, right? This is another reference to aquatic mammals being first. They're old. We're older than everybody else. Yes, we're the 12th sign, but we're older than everybody else. I'm gonna get to that. That's why Pisces' attitude is like, I don't have to do shit. Fuck is you talking about? I don't gotta do nothing. Because we're old. But again, let's go to evolution, right? The first fish, they were like eels, I think. Like, that's what they call them, right? Eels. They're like snakes in the water, right? So most of them, not all of them, but a lot of them were. I got pictures of it and everything. Not only that, right? They were spineless. They had no bone structure. And not only that, they had no jaw structure. Okay, so this meant that these fishes were able to go roam through the ocean without having to kill, without having to eat. It wasn't that serious. You understand what I'm talking about? So you may also have heard the terminology about Pisces being spineless, weak, just spineless men, right? We began that way. Okay, now peep this, right? Now you can research this as well. You can think about this all you want. The brain, right? The human brain and the spinal cord is associated with the sun and the solar system. The soul is supposed to be the spinal cord. Research this stuff, look it up, right? So the skeleton that forms around it, that's represented by Saturn, right? Have you ever heard about Saturn, Satan trying to capture your soul inside of? Okay, follow where I'm going? Okay, I just want to make sure you understand where I'm going. Now, if evolution in fishes started without these things, that would suggest that fish and aquatic mammals were before the sun, correct? No? Or what are you trying to say? That the sun was first because we allegedly revolve around the sun? Is that what you're saying? Because then that means that you're telling me that nothing can grow without the sun. I know what photosynthesis is. We all do, right? But are you telling me that nothing can grow without the sun? If you can make a solid claim that nothing can grow without the sun, I'll leave this alone. I'll drop it. I won't ever do a video like this again. But if you can prove to me that a seed can grow in the dark, I'm on to something. Okay, so why am I saying this? I'm saying this because Pisces are known as the dreamers, right? Visionaries. So you may think something is small and not able to talk and not able to do much. You got no hands and shit, right? Like, what is a fish really going to do? Right? Come on, what are you going to do, fish? What are you going to do, fish? Right? But you might be shocked to know that these fishes were actually imagining this whole evolution thing from the beginning inside of the water, right? I believe eggs were first. Like, I don't even believe that intercourse was taking place between these aquatic mammals either. So the whole what do you call that, immaculate birth conception, some shit like that. Let me not butcher that word, but the Virgin Mary story, right? Woman gets pregnant without actually having sex. Next thing you know, she's got a kid, right? This was happening in the sea first, right? Out of nowhere, fish just pregnant, drops a whole bunch of eggs, more fishes come out. You tell me what happened, right? So I'm just trying to tell you the power of the imagination, and we ain't even get to humans yet. We're still talking about fish. We're still talking about those two little goldfishes that everybody keeps making a big joke out of, right? Not everybody. I'm kidding. I know y'all love Pisces too. I'm just kidding, but I'm serious. Some of y'all just be going way too deep for y'all know what y'all talking about. So let's say, because before it was light and it was dark. You heard that before, right? So let's just say in these dark, deep blue seas, these fish began dreaming up or imagining coming out. You know what I'm saying? So in order for that to happen, there had to be some type of creation, evolution of creation to take place to make that come into fruition. So suddenly these fish started growing features on them to where they were becoming more hard-lined and more structured, to the way they started actually growing jaws. They started growing jaws, and then they began eating. And then as they began eating, they started growing skeletons. And then as they began growing skeletons, they started getting different types of, features that would protect them from offsprings that they created themselves, right? So there's even a fish called the batfish. I forget the name. I think it starts with an O, but it's kind of out there to pronounce. This fish doesn't even swim. This fish actually walks on the ground, on the sea floor, like a drunkard, and it has one horn on its head, like a unicorn. After a few years of living, it grows this horn to protect itself. So you might have heard this. Of course, you've heard this in the wildlife as well, like porcupines and stuff like that. So this started happening in the sea, again, before all of this stuff was happening on land. So as this is happening, some fishes are growing bigger than other fishes. So in that happening became the eat each other type cycle, right? The food chain started happening in the sea. So if you look at the cycle of that, a bigger fish eats a smaller fish, becomes bigger. Another bigger fish than that fish eats the smaller fish and becomes bigger. So it's this type of I'll eat you and take your soul mentality that began in the sea. In some type of way, though, the eater embodies everything, the DNA, the characteristics, the soul of the prey, kind of like vampirism, right? And with that being said, they take on the characteristics and they embody that as well. So it's like if you see a whole school of fishes swimming in schools, they learn something about the ocean or whatever it is they're dreaming about, whatever their visions are. Like, we don't truly know, right? Or do we? Bigger fish eats them, they get those dreams, they get that school, they get that knowledge from eating this school of fishes, and so on and so forth. More schools, more schools, more schools. The next thing you know, you got a big educated killer whale or a shark, right? And I say these two because they're like the big dogs of the sea planet, of the sea world, right? So what I'm saying is those two small goldfishes that you see in the icon is somewhere inside of a killer whale. It's somewhere inside of a shark. Flat out. That's the food. You know what I'm saying? And it gets to the point where if you play the beach too close, you're food too. Yes, you humans. Have fun on the beach this summer. All right? Just be careful with the Pisces jokes. Now, not only that, I made a wild claim, so I got to continue further. There is a reptiles. Let's talk about reptiles. Remember, I said the first fishes were like snakes. They were shaped like, I kid you not. I'll post a picture on the post. I kid you not. There's pictures of fishes that are shaped like snakes. Reptiles came about next, before all of this whole, walking on ground, the lions and the hippopotamus and all that. Before all that, reptiles came about. Reptiles began to crawl on the earth and started making eggs that had hard shells and stuff like that. Right? That was a survival tactic as well. And then you had you had your evolution beginning on land, right? But this is why you notice Scorpios, when they come on land, it's like when they come down on land, they're very intense about it. They're very focused and determined because they're an aquatic animal that had to come on land and transform, right? Scorpio about transformation, 8th house stuff. So that's why they behave the way that they do. Not only that, Scorpio rules over reptiles. In case you didn't know, now you know. Scorpio rules over reptiles. Not only that, when you look at the DNA structure of the human anatomy, you have the embryo is in the shape of a gecko. Like you see the gecko commercial with the little lizard dude? That is you in your infancy. That is all of us in our infancy, the reptile. So again, the jokes and everything, hold on with the jokes, because listen to what I'm saying, right? That means we have reptile DNA inside of us, all of us. So all of these videos being made about the conspiracy of the reptilian race controlling the other races and stuff like that, look at it deeper. We're all the reptilian race. Now, are some stronger than others when it comes to, I would say, frequencies? Yes. This is a fact. However, we all got it in us. I ain't seen one, what do you call that Scantron thing that y'all know what I'm talking about, that everybody comes back with and they throw a party and start celebrating when they get it, or the baby and stuff like that. Sonogram. You've seen it. That's a reptile in your stomach, ma. So stop playing and cut it out. Talking about snakes and stuff like that. Trying to play snakes and you're a snake. You're like, oh, keep your grass low because the snake's in the grass. You're a snake. Cut it out. But again, even that embryo evolved from fish, from aquatic life. So you're all fishes, you're all snakes, you're all reptiles, you're all aquatic first. Okay. And this is why they say the reptilian brain is the most primitive, because it's about flight or fight. It's about survival. Why? Because I just explained the evolution. We didn't even have jawlines before. We was just happy-go-lucky, chilling, rose-colored glasses on. You know what I'm saying? Through evolution, we started saying, okay, well, if we want something more than what we've already created, then we've got to do more. It's going to take some, I wouldn't say that's the best thing to do. It's just like to eat each other, right? But think about this: if you think about eternal life, or even if you go through life and you die, and the thought that you come back, right? Even that is a form of what I'm saying about evolution with the fishes. You eat the smaller fish, you become it, or you become stronger by doing so, and that makes you the killer whale. That makes you the shark. You know what I mean? And that's how you become more powerful. And then eventually it's your turn too. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be another shark. There's going to be another killer whale if they even eat each other. I don't know, but maybe it's like a different fucking aquatic mammal that comes and eats them, or maybe they just fucking die of old age and shit. There's no more people to fucking. There's no more fishes to eat and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's a learning lesson. It's a school. It's a fucking school. So even in your biblical texts and your references, when they say, you know, the animals were first and then came humans, that should give a clear indication to the human anatomy that say, listen, the animals were first so we can watch them and see how they behave and see how they eat each other to become stronger. And then it's a food chain cycle that doesn't support life to the fullest on a 12th house level. It supports life as a cycle and a transformation that stops at the 8th house, death, transformation, right? Now, people can consider that transformation to be the fucking afterlife. But if you want to get on some 12th house shit, it's like what's happening 9th, 10th, and 11th house. Okay, 9th house is what? Higher education. When you go where, you get a higher education. When you go to school. So pay attention to the fucking fishes, man. Pay attention to the fish, man. Because you want to get the schooling that began in the deep. So you can get past the 8th house turmoil of and this is no disrespect to my reptilians, you know what I'm saying? This is no disrespect to my married people who want to stay there. When you're like, I found my hubby, we're going to die, we're going to leave this amount left, we're going to raise our grandkids, and we're out of here. We did what we came to do. No disrespect to y'all. That's where y'all want the bus to stop for y'all. Cool. But there is a 9th house, there is a 10th house, there is an 11th house, there's a 12th house. So the reason why I'm stating that as well is because 12th house, when you get to 12th house, you get to understand how you can be whatever it is that you want. So like a lot of Pisces, right? And Pisces, y'all tell me if I'm right or wrong. Do you feel like when you observe an event that you're part of that event? I know y'all relate with this shit, right? And this is why they be like, Pisces protect your energy because you can pick up the energies of everything around you, your environment, the people around you, and everything, and to the point where it can actually rub off on you. It has the power to influence you as well. But it's like, look, we can, like, Pisces can observe something and be like, oh shit, that's part of me. So it's kind of like this whole being able to be interchangeable and ubiquitous. Pisces is very in tune with this. I believe that this comes from the deep. Of course, now this is not something that I have scientific data on, but this is just something that I intuitively feel when I move through the earth. Like, you know what I'm saying? I look at people as like mirrors of me in some type of way. And I think it's largely associated with me being Pisces and being all 12 elements of the wheel. It's like, okay, I understand you. You could be cursing me out and I just be like, all right, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I don't want to eat you because I know the cycle of life. I know that. You know what I'm saying? It's probably the last thing that I'm going to do. But if my back is against the wall and you're in a 5-foot radius, I'm not making any threats. I'm just playing, y'all. But when you get to 12th house logic, that's what it's like. It's like you understand the whole cycle of life, and you're like, yo, at the end of the day, we're humans now. Like, we took that trip to become this, and now when you observe people doing the whole food chain thing, still humans, you're just like, as a Pisces, you're like, okay, you're dumb. You're super dumb. You're dumb. You're following them. You're dumb. All of y'all together, all of y'all are just dumb. Y'all travel in packs or schools like wolves and fish do, but y'all are dumb. How did y'all not figure this shit out yet? You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. Just because the types of people that I'm speaking about I do consider to be dumb. It's not totally their fault because guidance plays a large role into where people go in life, what they become, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that these people have not been guided correctly. These people have been taught that other elements in the world make them important. Other elements in the world make them powerful and make them all powerful to the point where no one is going to be as powerful to knock them off. Like if you study food chain, you know no one's the biggest, baddest motherfucker in the planet. Because as soon as you think you are, or as soon as you got enough, I guess call it clout now, right? As soon as you got enough, someone's coming for you. It's just food chain logic. You know what I'm saying? So again, when you get to the 12th house, you realize this shit. Or if you are a 12th houser, if you are a Pisces, and it, trust me, no Pisces is alike. There's some Pisces out there that don't even fucking get this shit. There's Pisces out there that are just dumbed the fuck down, vibrating so low. I don't even meet these Pisces, but I get stories about them. Some of my clients tell me about them. I actually, as a matter of fact, no, I'm wrong. I actually joined a Pisces group before on a social network. I'm not even gonna say their name, but I met some Pisces there that I couldn't even fucking believe that they were Pisces, man. It was alarming. It was. This is why I get it. This is why I look at the whole zodiac wheel, man. Because even your own type, like that shit, don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we Pisces, we gotta stick together. No, not when you was in this fucking group. You be like, man, fuck that Pisces shit. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them, but you get what I'm saying. But my point being is, don't sleep on, two goldfishes being the sign of Pisces, because those goldfishes have been eaten by bigger fishes, who have been eaten by bigger fishes, who have been eaten by bigger fishes, and have become sharks and whales. All right, they have become the biggest, and we ain't even talking about Loch Ness Monster and Godzilla and all of that shit. You think that shit ain't fucking real? You think all that shit ain't? You think that shit's not real? You think no one's going? You think no one's going down there to the bottom of the ocean for no apparent reason? Like Godzilla's like not really down there. Come on. Like what do you call that? And nitrogen and fucking nuclear power spills and stuff like that in the ocean is just not like fucking made Godzilla a long time ago. Like these stories just came out of nowhere and stuff, right? But again, if you think anything that I'm saying, I'm not going to keep this long. I got to go to school. But if you think anything that I'm saying is too far-fetched or out there, just research it. You know what I'm saying? If I said anything wrong, research it. Get in the comment box. Tell me. Educate me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't be stupid. I don't want to be dumb. I don't also want to be the person who says I'm the smartest. Because, again, food chain logic will say, well, no, this is a smarter motherfucker than you, and he's coming for you. You know what I'm saying? Or he wants to challenge you or whatever the fucking case may be. That's just food chain shit. But as long as we keep an open mind and realize that we are interchangeable, it's like remote viewing. Once I did remote viewing more than once, I was like, yo, this is some freaky shit, man. That's another thing I want to talk about before I let y'all go. Remote viewing is some freaky shit, man. When you're able to switch the eyesight of your eyesight for another's and see what they're seeing, this lets you know that we're definitely not subject to some small, closed-in, primitive mind. Dolphins contact each other with fucking sonar, right? They don't talk like us. But they talk. They communicate, right? And if you look at sonar waves, they're in the same shape as Wi-Fi waves. You know what I'm saying? So think about this shit, man. Think about this shit. And this is why I might have mentioned this in the video before when I said, yo, look, Pisces have this like psychic ability to where it's like they can contact each other or they can contact other people. And I found this strong with all water signs, to be real with you. A couple of fire signs as well, that, we can just contact each other on some old think about you shit. Next thing you know, the phone's ringing, or not even that. Maybe we walk past somebody on the street that looks exactly like your ass. You know what I'm saying? And they're like carrying a fucking bag that has a name on it. And then I look at the name of the bag, and then I remember I got an appointment at a company that's the same name that's on the bag. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? But all of this shit, we know exactly what's going on. We're getting fed information through images, and nobody even said nothing. We ain't say nothing yet. You know what I'm saying? But who do you tell shit like this? People gonna call you fucking crazy, right? But this is my point. Like, to be able to do shit like that that's the part where people got to understand. People are operating on different frequencies than other people, and that's why Pisces, I got to understand, some people just gonna call y'all dumb. They're gonna call y'all stupid because you're not moving like a lot of the land movers are moving. You're not easily lulled into picking up flags that represent X, Y, and Z because a lot of marketing and promotion dollars were pumped into it. You know what I'm saying? And now everybody's riding that wave, riding that bandwagon, riding a wave, right? You get what I'm saying? Riding a wave. Where that come from? There's no waves in the bottom of the ocean. You know what I'm saying? So look, man, take this information, absorb it, take it for what it is, take what you can get from it, leave what you don't accept, don't want. It's fine with me. But we can extend on this, and I'm out of here. Where's the stop button? God damn it, Jim. It's the fucking stop button.